This is my top 10 movies of 2025, which has been one of my, actually, you know what, my favorite year film wise of 2025. I mean, I watched 200 movies this year, and there's been so many great ones. Obviously, there's been a lot of stinkers, which I'll get to in another video, but unbelievable. You'll see in my top 10 and my honorable mentions right after this that this year's been great. I'm hoping 2026 is just as strong. I think media wise, 2026 is going to be a phenomenal year, but who knows? Maybe everything's going to be shit. Maybe everything's going to be complete, utter shit next year. And, this year was just a blip in the year, which everything was just so great and fun and fantastic. But, who knows? So let's get right into my honorable mentions. Yeah, I know this is a lot of honorable mentions. I only wanted to do three to five, but I didn't know what to put. I loved all these films almost equally. They were all pushing that number 10 spot in my list. They were all around like the 15 to 10 range. And I know there's 10, so that means technically they're in the 20 range. But man, I loved all of these. I mean, you're gonna get little short reviews right here for them. I mean, Life of Chuck. They're very cute movie, very sweet. I thought it was a pretty good rendition of the novel. I gave it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I thought the acting was great. This movie looked gorgeous. Bit weird on the editing for this, but even then, I still loved it. Bring Her Back, one of my favorite surprises of the year. I wasn't a huge fan of Take Me, the first film they worked on. I don't know why I'm butchering the name. I didn't really care for it. I didn't see the hype. It was on the scariest horror movies of all time list. I don't think it's that great. There's really nothing to it past like the 30-minute mark. It loses like all of its aura and its sensibility. Bring Her Back is gory, gruesome, creepy, scary, and it's not just another supernatural horror movie. It actually feels like something fucking scary, and I'm so happy for Bring Her Back. I'm giving it an 8 and a half out of 10. I cannot stop thinking about this movie. I can't give it a 9, I think, but man, it really pushes those boundaries. I think this is one of the better horror movies this year or even this decade. I was really surprised by it. Twinless, absolutely fucking hilarious. I think I might have reviewed this one. Another surprise for me. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Fantastic Four. I've been waiting for a good Fantastic Four movie, and this was it. It looked gorgeous, even though CGI looked weird in some scenes and made me feel a little bit out of place. I thought the story was short, sweet, great, very well paced. I thought Galactus was cool. The cast really surprised me. If you remember me saying in the review, I wasn't a huge fan of the Fantastic Four casting, but it ended up being pretty damn good. And I'm a huge fan of Joseph Quinn, who I was really hating because Human Torch was my favorite character and I wasn't too sure about him, but he killed it. I gave Fantastic Four like an 8.5, 9 out of 10. Eternity, my favorite rom com of the year, easily. It's fucking hilarious. It's beautiful. What a gorgeous ending. And this might be the best looking movie of the year for me. Obviously, we had Phoenician Scheme, which, if there's a Wes Anderson film, I'm probably going to like it a lot visually, but Eternity might take the cake on it. F1, my Top Gun Maverick of the year. I think it's great. It's fun. Um, I don't think I'll ever go back and watch it, but I had to give it a shout out here. The Long Walk was maybe my number 10 spot. I couldn't do it though. I think it's great. I love that they show the kills. Great direction. Casting is amazing. I love every single one of the actors in this movie. I think they all do a sublime job. And if you've seen my review, I love that they went for actors that are a bit unknown, but we've seen them in previous movies, and I want their careers to keep expanding because I love all of them. Frankenstein, gorgeous, good rendition of the Frankenstein story. I think it's just really solid. I gave that a 9 out of 10 as well. Sentimental Value, which I sadly did not review. I really wanted to. Very fucking beautiful movie. As a film, probably top 10 of the year, but that's not how I do rankings. But Sentimental Value was fucking amazing. If you haven't seen it, I know it's not in theaters. You need to find a way to watch this movie. It's brilliant. It's just a better version of Jay Kelly, which I'm assuming more of you have seen that film. Watch this instead. It's a much better version of Jay Kelly. And Rental Family, you've seen my review for that. I gave that a 9 out of 10 as well. I think it's funny. I think Brendan Fraser's great. It looks great. I think it's a cute, short, sweet story. I love found family movies, and I think this one worked really well for me. So those are my honorable mentions. Now let's get to the actual top 10 with number 10. At number 10, I have Freaky Tales. I mean, this movie kind of has everything I love in movies. This was going to be an honorable mention instead of Long Walk, but I loved it way too much. I think it looked great. The vibe was great, the old 80s, 70s-ish vibe. I thought the soundtrack was beautiful. Who doesn't love a movie about killing Nazis? I mean, this was so much fun. There's not a dull moment in this movie. I was utterly surprised because I think this is a Netflix original and they killed it. Netflix did actually a pretty decent job this year with their originals, in my opinion, aside from a few like Woman in Cabin 10. But Freaky Tales, I mean, my favorite Netflix movie of the year. It was fucking brilliant. And while I do wish it was in theaters, it was still a fun watch at home. I mean, I can't, I can't stop thinking about this one. I've been going back to it sometimes. I think I've watched it 3 times this year, and every time it just gets more and more fun. I mean, the entire ending sequence with the samurai in the Nazi house is just fucking unbelievable. I think it's surprisingly well acted. I didn't have much faith in everyone. I thought this was gonna be another lazy Netflix movie, but I think everyone did a very solid job here. And number nine, I have Begonia. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Yorgos Lanthimos film. Every single film I've watched of his has been pretty damn good. I don't think I've rated anything lower than a 7 to my knowledge of his, and Begonia just falls in line again. I was really scared this movie was getting really overhyped, but I think Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Aidan Delbus, I hope I remember his name correctly, all did fantastic. I mean, the twist with Jesse Plemons actually being right all along was not fully predictable, but it works out so well that you're fucking paranoid this entire movie of, is Jesse Plemons and his brother actually this crazy? Is Emma Stone actually an alien? Is she just a regular rich lady who got trapped in this weird situation? And then you have the nice fucking beautiful twist at the end where he goes in the closet, Jesse Plemons goes in the closet and explodes, and then she goes to her mothership or planet or whatever, and they all have like these weird long hairs and amazing costume design. I mean, this movie is spectacular, and I'm not even forgetting my favorite part here, the score. The score of this movie is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I said in my review, this movie feeling having a better score than any of the past Star Wars films recently is hilarious because it's such an epic, grand sci-fi score. But this movie's so, obviously down to earth and pretty tame in the grand scheme of things for the most of this movie, and the score is just setting you up for something fantastic towards the end. I fucking loved Begonia. At number eight, I had to include an animated movie this year, not because I'm forced to, but when Ne Zha 2 came out, I didn't think any movie this year honestly was gonna beat it. I mean, that's how good this year has been. This movie came out all the way back in spring or the early winter of this year, and it was phenomenal. I mean, what a step up from Ne Zha 1 to 2. I think I gave Ne Zha 1 a 7 out of 10. This being a 9, probably 9.5 out of 10, says so much about this movie. I think China has completely got it down to a T on how great animation can be. I mean, look at everything, the environment, the characters, the way the characters are moving, fighting, everything's so fluid and so nice and smooth, and it doesn't feel rough, or there's not a single moment where I'm looking at this movie and I'm like, I really don't want to look because of how ugly this is. This movie is fucking gorgeous. I mean, unbelievable. The fight scenes are fucking fantastic. The script, the story is such a massive jump up from the first one. The first one was kind of lackluster in that sense, but the fight scenes saved it so much. The monsters design, the villain is so much better in this one. Ne Zha himself is just such a great character development. What a great character development. He's like more serious. He understands he needs to take this position he has much more seriously. I mean, Ne Zha 2 is easily the best animated movie this year, maybe of the decade. No, I actually like Flow a lot more. But Ne Zha 2 is fucking amazing. I cannot wait for the third one. China's got me excited, man. Every time a Chinese company puts out an animation movie, I'm there for it because I know it's gonna look good at the bare minimum. And in America and these Western countries, we are not doing our job at making good animation movies, which is such a fucking shame because Ne Zha 2 looks so great. We need more movies to look as good, if not somewhere near as good as Ne Zha 2. I mean, unbelievable. If you needed a Kung Fu Panda substitute, Ne Zha is the series, and Ne Zha 3, I can only hope, is somehow better than this one because this was phenomenal. At number seven, I have It Ends, a very fun comedic horror movie, which is very similar to 2007's, 2003's Dead End. I can't remember what year it is. Very similar premise, an endless road where your friends or family are just dying and going away as the time goes by, and you have that great ending, which I'll talk about towards the end of this. I mean, this was a movie I used towards my 200 movie of the year mark, and I'm so happy I caught it. Thank you, Letterboxd, by the way, for having this in your video shop because I didn't know it existed. I heard nothing about it. It wasn't on any greatest horror movies of the year list on Reddit or Twitter or Letterboxd or anything, and I can't believe it. This is unbelievable. I love Dead End, and I think this does it a tad bit better. I think the characters slowly losing their sanity and kind of just being repetitive every single day, doing the screaming, the dancing, the games, and then towards the end, everyone's just gone, and you have somebody. I won't spoil the movie too much. You have somebody uh, get out and then ultimately just come back into the road that never ends. It's unbelievable. I love the ending. We don't need happy endings in movies, and while you could say that It Ends has a sort of happy ending in its own right, I think it's depressing, it's very bleak, and we need more movies that end like this. It's fucking amazing. Also, for this movie being shot a lot in nighttime, very well lit. A lot of problems you've seen in my previous reviews on the lower rated movies this year, and you're going to see probably in the future as well. Hollywood, everyone doesn't know how lighting works. I think It Ends as a fucking pretty great job at lighting, especially these dark nighttime scenes where it's a forest, so it's obviously pitch black, there's no other lights around. These movies look fucking great. This movie looks gorgeous. It's very and it's very well acted. It's a comedy horror movie, so if you're into that, this is the perfect movie for you because it's the perfect blend of comedy and horror. I mean, every scene where they're fighting in the car is fucking hilarious. I wish we got a bit more banter. This movie's on the shorter end of the stick. If this movie was longer with more banter, I probably would have loved it even more than I do now, but it is fucking fantastic. You need to check it out. I believe it's only on the Letterboxd site if you do want to watch it, so please check it out there. At number 6, a movie I wish I reviewed on my channel, and now instead you're going to get a very short, very sweet review instead of a 10-minute one. I mean, I love No Other Choice. I love these dark comedy movies that Korea makes, and No Other Choice is not. It's just another one of these amazing ones. Of course, you have it by the phenomenal director Park Chan-wook, who's done obviously Old Boy and a bunch of other amazing Korean films. I love him as a director. I've been catching up on his films recently in December as I've been also catching up on my 2025 films. I think he's so great. And to have Lee Byung-hun be your main lead of this movie, who's of course been in I Saw the Devil, which is just fucking amazing, Magnificent Seven, uh, Bittersweet Life. I'm trying to remember what else he's in. I think that's all I can remember on the top of my head. I think he was in K-pop Demon Hunters, but not in a huge role. He is fantastic in this movie. I had full faith in him. I think he's an amazing actor, and I want him in more American films because I know he can do them, and or maybe more, sorry, foreign films for Korea. So more Western films like, and anybody should pick him up. He is such a fantastic actor, and every time I've seen him on screen, he hasn't failed me. And of course, Park Chan-wook being the director of this movie just helps it so much more. If you love Parasite, or you like actually any dark comedy Korean movie, this movie's for you. It's fucking hysterical. It's shot beautifully. The score is so much fun. This movie's like, I think, 2.5 hours. You are laughing and staring at the screen the entire time, waiting to see what happens next. I mean, no other choice. You should have no other choice but to watch it. How about that? How about that, huh? Halfway through the top 10 list now. It had to be in here. PTA's One Battle After Another. It's probably gonna win Film of the Year at the Oscars, or it's gonna win something at the Oscars, something huge. Maybe Leo might be winning Best Lead, or Chase Infinity winning Best Supporting Actress, or even could she get a lead actress role? I think she could win an Oscar for that. I'd have to check. They're both brilliant. I mean, this movie's such an amazing cast. You have Benicio del Toro, Leo and Chase, which I just mentioned, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, Tiana Taylor. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And this movie's like, what, three, almost 3 hours long. It felt, I mean, I think it was 3 hours long, and yet it felt like an hour and a half. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah, the first like 30 minutes of the movie are, it feels a bit different from the rest of it, but man, fucking leavable. You can't go wrong with a Paul Thomas Anderson film, and One Battle After Another, just does it again. And I'm so happy Leo got a bounce back movie. I think he's been in some sort of decent movies, not phenomenal movies recently, and he needed something like this. I don't know how many years he has left in him. I don't know how many years he's going to stay with us as an actor. He might just retire soon. He might just fuck off and be like, I'm done acting. But man, One Battle After Another, he absolutely kills it. This movie's gorgeous. The score is fucking phenomenal. And I can't stop thinking about Leo's performance. I said in my Mario Supreme review, I really love Timmy's performance, but now that I'm sitting here thinking about Leo's, it is easily the best performance of the year. It felt like he tried so fucking hard to kill this role, and I think he just fucking nailed it, man. I did a whole 10, 12 minute review on this. If you haven't seen it, it's right here. Unbelievable film. If you haven't seen One Battle After Another, should be on your list. It will be nominated for a shit ton of Oscars, a shit ton of whatever else. Chase Infinity should be big in any future movie she's in. I think she's a great actress, and I hope I see more of her in future big name movies because she killed it. Sean Penn is great. I mean, this movie's just phenomenal, unbelievable. One battle after another, man. I mean, it had to be here. My review 2 days ago. I can't stop thinking about this movie either. It's been a week. I mean, that's not a lot of time, but I haven't stopped thinking about Mario Supreme as a movie. Maybe in the future this moves up in my 2025 list. I think Timothy Chalamet was great. I love that he played ping pong for 5 years straight to prepare for this role. I think him as an actor is unbelievable. He's one of the most try-hard actors we have of this current generation of all time. I love him. He's great. He looks fantastic in this movie. This whole movie just looks great. Josh Safdie did such a great job directing this movie, and the camera work is great. This movie's so beautifully lit. The score is fantastic. This movie just has you on the edge of your seat for everything. The characters, the relationships, Kevin O'Leary, Tyler the Creator, the dog scene at the gas station, the shootout scene at the house when they're getting back the dog. All the ping pong fights are fucking fantastic. I mean, it feels like you're watching a real ping pong tournament. Like you're going to choke on your drink if you even try drinking it and watching this movie. This movie nails it. And I'm not surprised because it's a Safdie film. We've had good times. We had Uncut Gems. You're gonna be on the edge of your seat for those films, and Mario Supreme is just another one of those, and it fucking kills it. Maybe in another world where the movies I have ahead of it, this could be the best movie of the year. Maybe as time goes on, this might be my second favorite movie of 2025, but it's unbelievable to be this high in the 2025 rankings for me. I think says a lot. I don't want to repeat, like I said, I don't want to repeat what I said in my review 2 days ago. Mario Supreme is brilliant. It's an hour or it's 2 hours and a half, and yet it feels like the 2 hour mark. It feels like it's a 2 hour long movie. You have a great opening with the sperm turning into a ping pong ball. I mean, everything is unbelievable. I do not want to repeat anything I said in my review, which I'll try to remember to put right here. This movie is fucking fantastic. You need to check it out if you haven't. This is my number 4 movie of the year. For top three, to start it off strong, in my opinion, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about Sorry Baby, which really sucks. And if you've seen my review, I have a lot of trouble talking about this movie. I don't know what it is. I've been trying to think about how to talk about this movie since I've seen it and since I've done the review. I feel so bad because this movie is fucking fantastic. Eva Victor being the director, main lead, and the writer absolutely kills it in all three aspects. Everything's so tightly knit. This movie's so beautifully shot. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about it again, but that the house scene where the door keeps opening and Eva is inside and she keeps checking to see what it is, it's fucking amazing. The stuff with the cat is adorable and great, and I don't know. This movie's so great. I don't know why no one's talking about it. I wish I had an ability to talk about how great this movie is, despite just the technical aspects, like the direction, the writing, and the shots. Everything is just so fucking great about this movie. It's so heartwarming, so heartfelt. Naomi Aki's great. Eva Victor's great. Kelly McCormick, Louis Cancelmi. I don't know why I'm butchering these names today. I mean, everyone's so fucking great in this movie. It's unbelievable. No one is talking about it. I think it's going to be snubbed for every single Oscar category. I can't remember the categories off the top of my head. I think Eva Victor should be nominated for Actress of the Year. I think this should be nominated for Film of the Year. I think it should be nominated for so many things. The score is great too. I mean, there's just nothing bad about Sorry Baby. And I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but my problem is I cannot talk about this movie without starting to tear up or anything. I wish I could do it. I just can't. If you haven't seen Sorry Baby, please watch it. I need more eyes on this movie, more ears. It's genuinely one of the best movies of the year. It feels so slept on, so pushed under the rug because it was barely in theaters. I mean, in my AMC's in my local theater in for a week. In my AMC's, I don't even know if it was in there for 2 weeks. This was easily one of my favorite movies of the year, and it's kind of like how last year I saw the TV Glow. It's just a movie I cannot stop thinking about, and as time goes on, it's just gonna keep going higher and higher in my list, and it's just gonna be another movie I just cannot talk about, and it's really making me aggravated because I don't think there's anything bad about Sorry Baby. Personally, I don't think there's anything bad, and it only being a little over an hour and a half, maybe an hour 40, just makes it so much better. If you need a movie right now to watch before midnight, before New Year's happens, please put on Sorry Baby. I mean, this is easily, man, I can't say anything. Easily one of my favorite movies of the year. There was a point this year where my number two film, Sinners, was my number one film. And even before my third watch of my number one film, Sinners was my number one movie of the year. I can't lie. I mean, this movie's unbelievable. Ryan Coogler is such an amazing director. This movie is so shot well, beautifully. The final scene with the sun coming up is just fucking stunning. Even all the nighttime shots outside, fucking gorgeous. I just said it in my It Ends review a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago. Uh, Something I appreciate is when movies look gorgeous. Sinners is one of my favorite looking movies this year, and it probably shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be one of my favorite looking movies this year, and it still ended up being that way. And performance-wise, everyone kills it. Michael B. Jordan in the double protagonist role, amazing. Haley Steinfeld in the lead actress role, amazing. Jack O'Connell as this amazing, crazy, scary fucking vampire antagonist, great. Maybe my favorite antagonist performance this year. Uh, uh, Lee Jun Lee is amazing, and of course, someone I'm not gonna forget is Miles Catton. He is great. This being his first movie ever, which I didn't know before going in. Uh, Honestly, thought he was someone who's been around for a while. Maybe he's done TV shows. Maybe has done another movie with a smaller role, but he hasn't. And this being your first movie ever and having performance that good says something about you. I think he's an amazing actor, and let's move away from the acting. His singing is gorgeous. He easily my favorite original song of the year. When I do my Oscars video in a month or two, I'm just gonna immediately check that off. It is so fucking amazing. The whole scene is gorgeous. I've seen Sinners twice, and I'm scared to watch it a third time because of this. Both times during the through the history scene where he's singing and the camera's panning throughout the different generations of Africans and African Americans, and then the Asians and Asian Americans, I cried. I mean, it's so good looking. It's the singing is so beautiful. If you don't know, I was so huge into music and sound and everything, and it's why I talk about sound and score and soundtracks and movies when I'm doing reviews. Uh, that scene made me cry just because of the singing. I mean, it's unbelievable. The camera just moving through and the costume design of this movie being absolutely spectacular and switching through every generation, having a different outfit, a different song, even though the songs are still similar, so you can see there's some connection through history, and then you switch to Lee Jun Lee's family, and and then you have the African, I mean, the Asian beat playing, and then it just keeps going and going, and then the whole barn is burning down. It's so gorgeous. I mean, everything about this scene is just unbelievable. It's my scene of the year. I know that's not a thing, but it's my scene of the year. Unbelievable. Sinners is just great. It's such an amazing way to do such a classical feeling horror movie and modernize it. Something I said when I came out of the theaters is this was a great horror movie. And as time went on, I was like, is this a horror movie? Should I just call this a thriller? No, this is a horror movie, and this is the best horror movie of 2025. I don't care how much drama and thriller and action is in this movie. And, this is a Ryan Coogler film, so maybe we should just call this an action movie, but no. Everything about this movie is just so horror-y. The sequence with the vampire going to the house of the couple, and he kills them, and then you have the Sam Raimi transition where it circles in and then circles out into Michael B. Jordan's scene. It's fucking unbelievable, man. And then the entire last sequence with Jack O'Connell doing the singing with Irish Jig, and then them attacking the barn. It's just so great. That is horror. That is horror. I'm sorry for ever calling this movie not horror. This is the best horror movie of the year. It might be my favorite horror movie of the decade, aside from Barbarian, I suppose. Yeah, Sinners is great. I'm so happy. I'm gonna rewatch it again. Now I'm thinking about it. I need to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in so long. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. You need to check this out if you haven't. It's gonna be nominated for a bunch of Oscars. I hope recency bias doesn't push this movie to the side because so many people have been talking shit about it and honestly forgetting it even exists. But this is easily one of the best, most fun movies of the year. I just said in my Sinners review about a minute ago that Sinners was potentially my number one film of the year earlier, but I have to be honest, it felt more like a head to head with this movie. I mean, Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn, is my favorite movie of 2025. Now you might be saying, this isn't really a filmy film. This isn't OBAA. This isn't Marty Supreme, or Sorry Baby, or whatever else is getting nominated for Best Movie of the Year. I don't give a shit. The way I rate movies, the way I rank movies, is how much do I love the movie, not how much the public loves it, not how good the movie is. How much do I love the movie? Will I care about this movie when I'm 60? Yes or no? Superman is the movie in 2025 that I will give a shit about when I'm 60. This is before the year started. This was my most anticipated movie, not because I thought it was going to be amazing, but because this was deciding the future of DC and maybe James Gunn as a director with superhero films. He nailed it. The needle drops are fucking brilliant. I think this movie is shot fucking beautifully. Yes, do I think a lot of the lighting has problems and stuff, and like I just said earlier, it's a bit weird to me. Sure, but even then, there's so many gorgeous shots that just kind of overtake how weird the lighting is in this movie. And the acting, the casting, I think is all great. Aside from Isabella Merced, I don't really have a problem with anyone else. Rachel Brosnahan is fantastic as Lois Lane and my favorite Lois Lane of all time. David Cornsweet, amazing Clark Kent, amazing Superman. I wish he was a bit more stoic as Superman, but I still think he is my favorite Clark Kent. And he's probably number two, maybe tied number one as my favorite Superman as acting wise. Nicholas Hoult, someone who was super worried about heading into this movie, nailed it. I think he gives my favorite villain performance of a superhero movie of the 2020s. I could be wrong. I have to check again on that, but his Lex Luthor is amazing. I think a lot of it comes down to the writing and how his Lex Luthor was written. He's such a dickhead. He can push a pencil case down and make his employees grab it and push it down again and make them grab it again, clean it again. And his acting is just a cherry on top with that. I think he absolutely nailed it. I mean, I love Nicholas Hoult as an actor, but I wasn't too sure if he could do Lex Luthor, to be honest. I think the story's very, very charming, very cute. It feels very comic booky. You have Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, who he nailed. No one gives a fuck about Mr. Terrific. I do. Casuals don't. Now everybody wants to dress like him. That's how you know you did good. Nathan Fillion, who I had no faith in, to be honest, either, as Green Lantern, kills it. I think the Green Lantern ring and its powers looks great in this movie. I love the final fight with the war, and then Nathan Fillion just comes in his middle finger, punch, uppercut, whatever. I loved it. And then Isabella Merced is in there too. She's okay. it's just the writing. I just wish she got more, and it feels like every time she was on screen, she just said the same lines over and over again. And on my third rewatch, my final rewatch of this movie, I made it a promise, a deal to myself. I will count how many times she says, uh, "We're not the Justice Gang." She says it 7 times. I think she says it more than any other thing else she says in this movie. And it's a real shame because I love Isabella Merced. I wish she had more to do in this movie. I love Hawkgirl. I think Hawkgirl's great too. She does nothing. Probably the only down part for me in this movie is that, and then the weird lighting in some of the scenes. But villain wise, this shit is great. The fighting is fantastic. Crypto, hilarious and cute. The city evacuating, something we need in movies, especially after Man of Steel, which is another Superman movie. We needed movies like Fantastic Four and Superman to have evacuation scenes to show that superheroes aren't killing civilians like just on the side, and we just had to pretend like they're not killing anyone, even though they're clearly flying through buildings and smashing, kaiju's through towers and stuff like that. I loved it. You have, the squirrel saving scene, the turtle scene, the dog scene, and my favorite scene in the entire movie, the bridge collapsing scene where a woman is stuck in her car, and David Cornsweet flies up and holds the building, and she drives forward and looks back, and you just see a Superman silhouette in the day sky, and he looks like a god, but you can see he's still just a man, and it's something that I think Superman nailed right, and it's something we needed again. Superman is just a guy. The whole final scene with show me films of my parents, and it's his human parents instead of his Kryptonian parents. A lot of people don't like that, and I get it, but I think I appreciate it so much more. I loved it. Makes Superman so much more human, maybe than he needs to be, but I loved it. And the thing that nailed this in the coffin for me to be my number one movie of the year, to be honest, was I have it written down here, and I've had it written down since August, I think. I could be wrong. Was there was a little girl in front of me in the Superman showing, and he beats Lex Luthor, or maybe was it Lex Luthor? It could have been Bizarro Superman. It was one of the two, and he beats him. And she stands up, and she screams that Superman win. And her dad goes, "Yeah, he won." And she starts screaming and cheering for him. And I hate when people make movies about themselves or scream, but it's a kid, and we don't see kids react to superheroes like this anymore. Like we had it with Spider-Man in the 2000s, and maybe Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy, but since then I haven't seen someone react to a Superman that way ever. Maybe uh Endgame or Infinity War, but it was more like the awe of it, the spectacle of it. But no one was. I don't know. She was rooting for Superman, and it was unbelievable to me. And then her dad takes her out of the theater, and she has to be flown like Superman, and she gets picked up, and he flies her around like Superman in the air with his hands, and she's screaming Superman is the best, and I was like, yeah, obviously, like this has to be like my movie of the year. That little girl has done so much for this movie. It's kind of unbelievable. I think I gave it a 10 out of 10 even prior to that moment, but that one bit on my final rewatch of this movie just solidified it. I think Superman 2025 is my favorite movie of the year. It's one of my favorite movies of the decade. It's the future of DC. I think it's what confirmed DC has a future. And yeah, we have Supergirl and Clayface next year, and we had Creature and Commandos and Peacemaker season 2 this year, but seeing Superman make $650 million when his name has been tarnished and thrown in the mud and no one gives a shit about him anymore is amazing. I can't wait for the future. If you disagree or agree with some of my takes on this top 10 list, please tell me. I'm super intrigued to know everybody else's. I haven't seen a lot of lists anywhere else. I've been checking Reddit, I've been checking Twitter, I've been checking everywhere for lists. I'm a huge fan of lists. Let me know your top 10 in the comments below. Let me know if you agree with some of my takes. If you disagree with some of my takes, I'm going to be doing bottom 5 of the year as well, and I will be doing a top 10 most anticipated for 2026 as well. So if you enjoyed this video, Please subscribe, leave a comment knowing what you liked, what you disliked, and I think I'll see you on the bottom 5 video coming out tomorrow.